Comm Skills. Welcome to our assignments 3, 4, and 5. And yes, class is in session. Hey, I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to be reading these short poems. We're going to go through a couple of the questions, and then we're good to go. Okay. So you wrote for your number 2 assignment, you wrote about your dreams, and that kind of led into this poem. This is a poem by Langston Hughes, who, as you can see, was a poet, author, and activist. And he is from Harlem in New York. And he wrote in especially the 1920s. Okay. So here is his poem, Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. There's going to be a question on here about, first of all, the rhyming scheme, and you're going to see we have kind of a rhyming scheme set up here for you. Okay, so if you ever are wondering about rhyming scheme, remember, we're talking about the rhyming of it. So look at the last words. Dreams, die, bird, fly. Okay, so you can see which lines rhyme together. But poetry isn't always about rhyming, right? It's about deeper meanings and figurative language and different things like that. So here we go. Let's do a couple. Number 1 says, which sentence describes the main theme of the poem? It says, dreams are difficult to keep alive. It's not important to aim high with your dreams. It can feel impossible to accomplish your dreams, or having dreams is an essential part of life. And after you read that, if you got to the point where they meant you need to have dreams in your life, I would agree with you. So having dreams is an essential part of life. D would be correct. Let's skip to number 3. How does the repeated phrase, hold fast to dreams, contribute to the poem? Does it stress the importance of not letting go of your dreams? Does it show how dreams can be different? Does it suggest that people don't work hard enough for their dreams? Or does it show that most people have to fight to accomplish their dreams? And if you thought that it stressed the importance of not letting go of your dreams, no matter what the situation is, you are correct. All right. We'll do number 4, and then we'll move on to the next poem. Number 4 says this: a metaphor is something that compares 2 or more things. In this poem, what does the author compare life to? Okay, so Langston Hughes is saying life is something. Did he compare life to a broken bird and a barren field? An empty cup or a sad weather? Barren field or curious cat? Or a lonely street or an empty box? We go back to the poem. Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly if we don't have dreams. And also, if we don't have dreams, life can be a barren field frozen with snow. So we know then that number 4 would be A. All right, so that was 3. And now we're going to make our way to poem number 4. This is another Langston Poems poem, and something important to know about it. First of all, it's called Mother to Son. So we know that there's going to be a letter or a conversation or something from the mother to the son. We also are going to know that this is during the time period of like the 1920s. So this is a little after World War I, and this is a little before the Great Depression. So kind of in that time period where, it probably wasn't very easy to live, especially in New York City, where life was a little maybe hectic and crazy too. Something else to keep in mind: persevere or perseverance and persist or persistence. Those both mean that you're always going to keep going. You're never going to give up. You're going to fight through all the struggles and difficulties that come your way. Here's the poem. Well, son, I'll tell ya, Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. There. But all the time I's been a climbing on, and reaching landings, and turnings corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So, boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you finds it harder, kind of hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. So when we talk about the stair, okay, we know that um, there's like, the metaphors and the figurative language and the sensory detail that's putting in here, but she's comparing life to a staircase. And it's not a crystal one. It's not a glamoury, shiny, sparkly one. Not one that you're going to see on, like, if you can remember the staircase of the Titanic, how it looked grand and beautiful. This is going to be a kind of a broken down one, right? So she's comparing life to that. So knowing that, let's go into number one. In the poem, whom is the speaker addressing, and what about? Is it a mother telling a story to her child about her own childhood? Is it a mother speaking to her son about climbing a crystal staircase? Is it a son recounting a conversation his mother had with him about a general struggle towards earning a comfortable living? Or is it a mother warning her son about the difficulties of life and the struggle to persevere? And if you liked this fourth one of of D, you are correct. The mother's saying, hey, life ain't easy. Okay, but don't give up. Look at me. I keep going through this whole thing, and I'm doing my best. And you can do that too. Let's go to number two. What is the centralized metaphor utilized in the poem? So again, metaphor is it's something being compared. So life is what? The narrator describes climbing a tiring climb up a beat-up staircase, which represents her persisting through difficulties and struggles in life. You know what? I think we nailed it right there. I'm still going to read the other ones, but I think that pretty much sums it up very well. The narrator compares a crystal staircase to her own life. Well, not really, because she didn't have a crystal staircase. The narrator describes her climb up a dirty staircase, which transforms into a crystal staircase. She didn't have any crystal in her life. She said it was always working hard and never really reaching that crystal staircase. And the last one, the narrator described herself going down a decrepit staircase, a figurative depiction of her continued problems. And I would say, again, we're going to go with A. We're going to skip a couple here. And we're going to go to 5. I want you to evaluate this poem. Okay, now, notice to the end part of this question, you can get this answer wrong. Every option's right, but I want you to be honest in your feedback. So, knowing that this was written in 1922, a little before the Great Depression and a few years after World War I, how would you evaluate the author on writing from the perspective of a mother in Harlem, New York at that time? Do you think she hit it pretty good? You give her a 3 to 4. If you think, boy, this wasn't a very good poem, 0. If you liked how they structured it, and even, some of you might be confused with the wording here. Been a climbing, reaching landings, turning corners, right? That's just how they would speak in Harlem at that time, right? They would have kind of that twang, and instead of the ing ending, right, it would be more of the in, so just finishing off a little quicker. Do you think that the author, from the perspective, did well here? And if you liked it, again, you can go, nailed it, great job. And we're going to be moving on to 5. So you guys can keep pausing me, do whatever you want. I just wanted to throw out these 3 in a row so that you had all of them. So here we go. Here's poem number 5. All right, here we go. 5. This thing, I love this poem. This is by Tupac Shakur. You might recognize that name because, as you can see from his description, he was an African American rapper, actor, poet, and activist. So you might know him from some of the songs that he has sang. But here's a short poem, and let's take a look. It's called "The Rose That Grew from Concrete." Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else ever cared. It's pretty cool. Got a picture of our rose in the concrete. So here we go. Which of the following identifies a main theme of this text? Is it that all living things need support from others in order to grow? That we must learn and grow from our mistakes? That people can overcome difficulties and succeed? Or that nature can overcome problems better than people? If you were thinking that this is all about overcoming difficulties and succeeding, I think you are right. Because no matter where that rose was going to live, right? If it's in concrete compared to a beautiful garden or someplace where normally a rose would grow, right? It's having a difficulty growing in its environment, but no matter what, it's still going to succeed in that environment. Let's skip down to 3. How does the speaker's point of view influence how the rose is described? Is it curious about the rose? Is it believing that the rose is not real? Is it feeling pity for the rose? Or is it impressed by the rose? I think that the speaker is impressed by the rose, because how many times do you see from concrete a rose coming, right? You might see weeds, you might see some different grass that might grow up. You don't ever really see anything beautiful coming out of concrete, though. And the fact that a rose made its way through is impressive. So that's impressive. Remember our rhyming scheme for number 4. Okay, so did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Do grew and concrete rhyme? No. So grew, this one is going to be A. The next line is going to be B. Proving nature's laws wrong it. Wrong it. Do those rhyme with concrete or grew? Nope. So it's going to be A, B, C. Learn to walk without having feet. Feet and concrete rhyme. So those are going to be connected. So it's going to be A, B, C, B. A, B, C, B. Boom. There you go. See how we did that? And then, guys, for our last one, I saw this video, and it actually was connected off of the idea of this poem. It's called Just a Kid. And it's about a basketball player that used to play, and actually, ironically, his last name was Rose. Some of you might have remembered him from Chicago. So I want you to watch this video. And then, again, this is just an evaluation of, do you think the person of this Powerade commercial connected the idea back to the poem that we just read? Because there are some big connections there. Okay, and that's you're not going to get the question wrong. Just be honest, and I want to see what you think as far as evaluating. Okay. Hey, have fun. Good luck for the rest of the week. If you have any questions, let me know. But hopefully, just by doing this, you felt a little more confident about getting this done, and it's good to talk to you. I miss you guys. So, if anyone wants to chat this week too, let me know. Otherwise, keep on keeping on, and then we'll get her going. Okay. See ya. Have a good day.